What's going on, Stim Junkies? Hi, Stim Ace here, and today is Midweek Madness Wednesday. Yes, something that I'm coining here on the channel because you guys know when it comes to running the illicit bunker formulas, the basement concoctions that we all know and love, High Stim Ace usually likes running them on High Stim Saturdays, High Stim Sunday, because for me that is a natural continuation of the crazy High Stim weekend. But then I like also interjecting a little bit of chaos once a week. I call it the Midweek Madness, Hump Day, whatever you guys want to call it, usually Wednesday. So today is Wednesday. I was off of work and I decided to run this crazy illicit hitter for the third time. The pre-workout that I am holding in my hands is Hyper Power, which is available over at high-stim-preworkout.com. We're going to go over that in the end of the video. I'm going to link where you can buy this one with a discount code. We're going to talk about this one because there is a lot to be said. So let's not waste any more time. Let's roll that freaking intro. When we come back, we are going to discuss Hyper Power from High Stim Pre-Workout. All right, guys, so looking at the tub here, it says Hyper Power in the middle. Looks really, really basic, but also really badass. It kind of has like a little bit of a 3D effect, which I really dig. Core Labs X or Core X Labs, whatever the hell this is. You guys know I get this from high-stim-preworkout.com, so I don't know about all these little companies that claim to make the product here. This is the Citrus Punch flavor. We're going to talk about it in a moment. But just circling back around over here, you do have the label. I don't want to reveal that just yet because we are going to be going over this label, and it's definitely a unique label. But overall, not a crazy presentation over here. But you guys know that when it comes to these illicit bunker formulas, presentation is the least of their concerns. So I went ahead and opened the tub just to take a sneak peek inside. And before we do that, you guys can see over here on the lid, it says surprise, 1 serving free sample inside. I'm going to be honest, my sample must be buried deep within, and I didn't want to upset the balance of this pre-workout, so I didn't go ahead and get the sample yet, but I'm sure I'll get to it eventually. Looking inside, the powder is fine white, and as you can see, this thing is filled to the brim. Super fine, super fluffy, so no issues with clumping whatsoever. There is a silica pack right up top and probably another one deep inside, but the smell, as soon as you open it, is super pungent, super reminiscent to Smash AMF. You're getting that spicy note going straight up your nose. It's pretty crazy, but overall, you guys know that when it comes to these bunker formulas, you guys know what to expect when it comes to this product here. But overall, this looks really, really solid, and I did run this one for a grand total of 3 times. We're going to talk about everything in this review here. So obviously, when running a bunker formula such as this one, flavor is the least of the concerns to all parties, unless you're a wimp and you're somebody that cries about flavor, in which case there's a lot of companies out there for you, such as C4, Bucked Up, and Ghost. But with that being said, the flavor on here is Citrus Punch, and it is super, super familiar. If you guys ever had the original Smash AMF, they also released a Citrus Punch flavor, which tasted like a mix of these orange powdered vitamins that you used to get as a kid, and I'm talking about those nasty chalky ones, but with an added bitter aftertaste with a little bit of a burn, a pungent smell that really shakes your senses to their core. So this one here is very reminiscent. It's probably not as nasty as that original Smash flavor, but it is really, really close. And even when you open the tub, the powder is going to come up a little bit. You're going to get a whiff of it, and that spicy note is just going to go down, and you're really going to feel it to your core. So definitely not one of the better flavors. It's one of those flavors you're going to want to shoot down with a little bit of water and have a chaser handy, but man, is it worth it. We're going to break down the label, guys, and then we're going to talk about this crazy pre-workouts. So looking at the supplement facts here, you can either take this pre-workout at 1 scoop, which will give you 50 servings in the tub. Yeah, guys, 50 servings, and I don't doubt it because the way this thing is filled up to the brim, I'm not shocked that there are 50 servings in here at 1 scoop. You can also take it at 2 scoops, which is going to bring it down to 25 servings per container. And in parentheses, it says 50 servings for beginners and 25 servings for professionals. Now, I had the owner message me directly, and he told me, despite what it says, despite that you are the High Stim Ace, it doesn't change the fact that you should start off with 1 scoop because this one here is insanely strong and potent. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, that is no joke. You guys know that when it comes to the channel, I always run everything at a full dose, and I did run this at a full dose today, but we are going to talk about that experience. I'm still riding this freaking euphoric high, and it's pretty insane. So we're going to talk about all that, guys. Make sure you don't go anywhere. But we're going to read everything on here as it pertains to 2 scoops because that is how we always do it here on the channel. Maximum dose or go home. Now, this here is a semi-proprietary label, meaning that you're going to get dosages of a bunch of ingredients together, but not an individualized breakdown of each ingredient. So we're going to go over it very quickly. Again, labels are just labels. In the end of the day, you don't know what's actually in here. But we are starting off with the nitric oxide system, which comes in at 6,500 milligrams for the 2 scoops. You're getting beta-alanine, citrulline D-L-malate 2-to-1 ratio, arginine alpha, arginine nitrate. You're getting some inositol stabilized arginine silicate, GPLC, ALC, and L-carnitine L-tartrate. Okay, so that's interesting. Some of these ingredients do help with nitric oxide production, others do not. I would not rely on this one for a pump. I've stacked this with a pump formula today at a full dose, which actually was the right call. We're going to talk about everything, like I said, once we get to the effect section. Then we have cell volumizing ATP complex, 5,500 milligrams for this little section here. You have dicreatine malate, creatine HCl, creatine nitrate, creatine O-phosphate, agmatine sulfate, glycerol monosaturate, beta cyclodextrin, and L-taurine. I highly doubt there's glycerol in here, by the way, guys. Again, labels just labels, and this is the latest shady pre-workout from High Stim Pre-Workout. And up next, we have Neuro-Energized Stimulant Ignition System. Talk about a mouthful, and this one comes in at 2,500 milligrams. So they're making a lot of claims in here, guys. A lot of claims. I'm not going to read everything in here because there's a bunch of stuff on here that I probably shouldn't be reading, but the label is posted. You guys can pause the video. You can check it out for yourselves. At the end of the day, labels are just labels, so it does not matter whatsoever. But you're getting 2,500 milligrams for this entire blend over here, which has some nootropics, a lot of stimulants, a lot of feel-good, illicit tunnel vision types of ingredients, so that's pretty crazy. And lastly, you're getting electrolyte Vita support matrix, a little bit of niacin in here, 100 milligrams. I definitely don't believe that because I did not get any niacin flushes on here, thankfully. I'm seeing this for the first time. There is no way in hell that this has 100 milligrams of niacin. Usually 30 makes me sweat out all my sins, but this one did not give me that effect whatsoever. You got some miscellaneous vitamins in here, some potassium, sodium, magnesium, and that is pretty much going to round off the label. Like I said, guys, for the third or fourth time, labels are just labels. Before I break down my experience running Hyperpower Pre-Workout 3 times over the past 2 weeks, don't forget to like this video, comment below, share the channel with a fellow stim junkie or a pre-workout enthusiast, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Alright guys, where the hell do I even begin? Man, there's so much to say about this product here, but right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that what the owner told me is indeed true. Start off with 1 scoop, which comes in at about 7.5 grams. It does come in a little bit light on the scooper. It comes in at about 6.5 grams. Make sure to weigh this one out, guys. This isn't the pre-workout you want to be messing with. This isn't your typical GNC vitamin shop formula where you can heap it a little bit and it's okay. Make sure to have a digital kitchen scale for this one, weigh it out, and start off with 1 scoop, okay? 7.5 grams, 8 grams tops for your first time because this thing here is no joke. There is a crazy synergistic effect that comes in about 15 minutes after consuming the drink, and the very first time, like I said, I ran it was at 1 scoop, did not pair any pumps on top of it. And it wasn't until later that I got to the gym that I added a little bit of pump capsules just to get a little bit pumped up, but without taking away from the stim effect. Now, to tell you very quickly whether this has the goods or not, it's hard for me to tell. Again, a lot of these pre-workouts have their own ingredients, their own stimulants, and it all has to do with how these labels come together. But all I can tell you is my feeling based on my body, based on my mind, and how I overall responded to this product. This thing hit me like a freight train every single time I took it. And it's a combination of a mental high, a crazy physical sense of energy, nonstop endurance, surprisingly crazy pumps, despite the fact that I didn't really stack any crazy pumps the first 2 times I took it, and just this dialed in tunnel vision, illicit focus that literally has you in your own little bubble, ignoring the entire outside world, despite the fact that the gym is busy or if the music's blasting or whatever the hell's going on. As long as you have your earbuds in or your headphones and you're listening to your music, you're going to be so lost in your own mind. This thing is just next level insane. If I had to compare this to any 2 well-known pre-workouts, it would be Smash AMF and Excelsior. Now, is this the next Excelsior? I don't know if it's quite the next Excelsior, but I can tell you that out of all the illicit pre-workouts that I've ran, and I've ran a lot, I'm High Stim Ace in case you guys didn't know, but this thing here is probably the closest to Excelsior that I personally ever experienced, but it has even more of an aggressive energy, even more of a head high, and just an overall crazy intensity that really has you on a different stratosphere than everybody else around you. So with the OG Smash AMF, that one was known for that tunnel vision focus, the illicit tunnel vision focus that just had you dialed in for hours on end and crazy, crazy endurance. But it also came with some elevated heart rate, some cold sweats, and a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of shortness of breath. And that very first review I did about 2 years ago for Smash AMF, I actually said that you should stack it with a pump formula, something like a blood sport from Apollo Nutrition, which incidentally is what I stacked it with today at a full dose. We're going to talk about that momentarily, but something to kind of help offset the vasoconstriction, the craziness. And that to me was a perfect balance and the perfect way to run the OG Smash AMF. This one here, I will give you the same advice for, especially if you're running it on 2 scoops, but it definitely has the almost identical feeling that Smash AMF had, where you're super dialed in and you're just focused. You're in this tunnel. You're not strafing left or right. You're just dialed on the mission at hand, ignoring everything around you. There could literally be a brawl in the back where people are fighting with dumbbells and whacking each other on the head with 45-pound plates, and you wouldn't care. You're in your own little bubble. You're hopping from cloud to cloud, and you're just in this crazy euphoric buzz. It's a crazy feeling that I've never experienced, because when it comes to Excelsior, what I like about Excelsior is the fact that you do have the euphoria, the mood elevation, but it's a very clean and productive type of experience. It doesn't give you a whole bunch of crazy physical energy, but it just puts you in this positive nootropic mood for the entire day with just a little bit of that illicit feeling that really has you going for hours on end. This has that same effect, but it also has the intensity of Smash AMF minus some of those negative side effects. The only thing I got on here in terms of negative side effects is I'm a little bit shaky. As you guys could see, I'm still shaking a little bit, and I've already taken this one well over 5 hours ago. I hit the gym today for about 3 hours, hit the sauna for an hour. I got home, had a couple of things to take care of here around the house, and 5 hours later, 5.5 hours later, I am still tweaking a little bit. Not in a crazy way where you're not going to be able to do anything. Quite the opposite. This is a very, very productive experience, but you will have a little bit of tweakiness going on because whatever's in here is strong and it is potent. Another thing on here that is definitely going to happen is you're going to get the Stimmy Willy meter coming in at a 10 out of 10. So does this have geranium extract, the real legitimate quality? Who the hell knows? But the intensity on here, the body high you get on here is so intense that it's going to shut off whatever is going on down there. So that obviously should tell you right off the bat that this thing definitely has the goods. Now, in terms of how this actually translates over to the workout, because you guys know a lot of times when it comes to these illicit hitters, you can kind of be in your own little bubble and you're going to be euphoric and happy, but the workout may not necessarily be the best, right? Because you're just kind of floating and you're doing your thing. You're talking to people, you're socializing. This is not like that whatsoever. This is definitely a get shit done, no nonsense kind of pre-workout. And this is why I say this really takes both elements from Excelsior and from Smash AMF, but you're going to want to work out. This isn't one of those products where you're going to take and you're feeling nootropic and you want to chat with people. Quite the opposite. I did not really feel like chatting with anybody today. I did run into a couple of people in the gym, and yes, I said hi and whatever, but I did not really feel super chatty today. I really just wanted to tear those weights apart, and boy, did I destroy those weights. You do not feel heaviness on the weights while you're on this pre-workout. Your endurance is nonstop. I was literally hitting reps and sets with minimal breaks in between. The heart rate was up a little bit. I was sweating. There's a thermogenic sense that you do get with this pre-workout. Did not pair any thermogenics, but I was sweating, and there was this intensity, almost like the feeling you get mixing a little bit of Pro GBB and some yohimbine and alpha-O. Gives you like this speedy sense of urgency, but it didn't get to the point of survival mode. It wasn't like your heart's about to leap out of your chest. It was right at the cusp of it going to that next level without actually going to that next level. So physical aggression is 100% there, dialed, tunnel vision focus at 150%. This thing is crazy, and a good sense of euphoria, mood elevation, but super, super illicit. You feel like you're on something when you take this pre-workout. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. You feel like you took a little bit of extra, little bit of happy manufacturer sprinkling in this product here. This feels unique. It feels different. It's something I personally wouldn't take more than twice a month because this is crazy. Do not, for the love of God, take this on a evening, going to the gym at like 5, 6 p.m. Don't do that. Not even at 1 scoop, because at 1 scoop, you're going to be flying. You're going to be hopped up and on a completely different planet. So do not take it at night. I didn't have any issues sleeping on it, but I've only ran it in the morning, so I had the entire day to ride this thing out. and you're going to ride this thing out, because even post-training, you're going to feel a highness, a buzz, a euphoria, but it's very productive. It's not the kind of buzz where you're just sitting and you're cracked out on the couch. You're going to be productive. You're going to do chores around the house. You're going to organize stuff. You're going to clean. You're just going to be very busy and active. And again, it's a mix of that mental focus, that dialed in illicit feeling, the tunnel vision focus, but also a physical aggression and energy. So you do not need to stack anything on top of this like alpha yo or more caffeine. Do not stack anything on top of this. You could and you should stack a pump formula to kind of help this thing flow a little bit, especially if you're taking it at a bigger dose. Now, the 1 scoop dose on here, which will give you 50 servings, is 7.75 grams. So we're going to round that off to 8 grams. We're going to round off the 2 scoop experience to 16 grams. I never actually took it at 2 scoops at one shot because, like I said, 1 scoop hits so hard to the point where I didn't want to take 2 scoops and double the intensity and make it a detriment to the workout. So what I did today was take it at that 8 grams, first thing before I got to the gym. About 35, 40 minutes before I even got to the gym, I took it because this thing does take a while to build. Now, like I said, you will feel this one about 15 minutes in or 20 minutes in, but to really get to that next level, to really take you to a different astral plane, you want to give this about 40 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes before you even start touching the weight. So if you guys are stim junkies that do watch the High Stim Ace channel and you value the way that I run things, the way that I mix things together, then I will tell you my favorite way to run this product here. You're going to start off taking this at 1 scoop on its own without pairing anything on top of it. You're going to do that about 40 minutes before you even start touching the weights. Then when you're on your way to the gym, you're going to take the 2nd scoop with you, but cut this one with a pump formula. So I personally went with a Polynutrition Blood Sport. You're getting 10 grams of citrulline, you're getting a crap ton of nitrate, so it really helps with the blood flow and to offset whatever negative side effects you may get. And it is also unflavored. So this way, it didn't mess with anything. Again, the flavor is pretty nasty, so if you guys want to mix it with a pump formula that actually tastes good, that's not such a bad idea. You can do that, but I would split the dose. If you guys are dead set on doing 2 scoops, take 1 scoop 40, 45 minutes before your training session, and then about 5 minutes before you actually start pumping, take that 2nd scoop with a pump formula, and hit the gym and enjoy the next 3 hours of your life, because you guys will not want to leave the gym. You're going to have to be pulled away from the gym to actually leave, or you're going to have to drop from exhaustion before actually leaving, because this thing is going to have you going nonstop. There is a genuine happiness that comes with it, a euphoria, a buzz, energy, boundless energy, and nonstop, never-ending endurance. So this thing is crazy, and I've never actually gotten to try those original batches of Excelsior or Craze, which was a legendary pre-workout, but from what I heard, the way these products operated, you just had this boundless energy for like 3-4 hours straight. This one here is no different. So I'm sure if this one was around in 2014, 2015, when all these crazy pre-workouts were around, this one would definitely be on that level. So I'm telling you guys right now, as somebody who's ran my share of crazy illicit bunker formulas, this one here is probably at the very top. It's probably even stronger than Excelsior. It combines Excelsior, Smash AMF, and a couple of other ones to create a really unique, insane kind of experience. Now, if you guys want to pick up this crazy pre-workout before it sells out or is discontinued, you can head over to highstimpreworkout.com. I'm going to link it down below with a discount code to save you a little bit of money while helping support the High Stim Ace YouTube channel. Now, one thing you have to know when you go on highstimpreworkout.com, on the top right, there's a drop-down menu. You're going to click on that menu. There is a little section that forces you to create an account, and you have to do that just as a security measure. In 2025, there's a lot of eyes that are looking at this website, and we don't want to give people an excuse to try to take us down. So head over there, make the account. It's 100% free. And that way, once you actually make that account and are logged in, you're going to have access to the entire High Stim pre-workout catalog, which features all the pre-workouts that I already reviewed, such as Game On, Irate, Hyperdose, Force of Nature, and all the other ones I'm going to be reviewing soon, as well as the Hyper Power. So guys, head over there, pick it up, use the discount code ACE10, and you're going to thank me. Well, that was a crazy experience, guys, and I'm still riding this crazy high right now. If you guys enjoyed this video and found it beneficial, make sure to show your support by liking this video. It greatly helps the algorithm. Comment down below. Let me know if you've tried this one. If not, have you tried other products from highstimpreworkout.com? Which ones are your favorites? Which ones are you interested in trying? Let me know in the comments down below. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification to get all of High Stim Ace's latest updates. Follow my Instagram at High Stim Ace, and I will see you all next time for the next High Stim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody. High Stim Ace. signing off.